Are you grooming yourself? Did you just get a big meal? Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tammy. I am outside saying hi to some of our bobcats here at the sanctuary. This is Miss Brianna. She just had a lunch and she's grooming herself. Brianna is one of our what we would call unsocialized bobcats. She lives here with Stelter, who I'm watching. Both Brianna and Stelter were kept at a fur farm in southern Minnesota in little wire suspended enclosures. And we're very, very unsocialized to people, and I would say really what we call is razor blade cats. They really had no reason to like people. They had never touched grass. They were on suspended wire enclosures, and now they arrived here at the sanctuary several years ago, and they're still some of our toughest customers, we like to say, personality wise, but they are doing great. They enjoy hanging out in their habitat in their indoor-outdoor areas. They get plenty of enrichment. They get companionship of their own kind. And so unlike some of our other bobcats who run up and say hello and love their human caretakers, these guys really like to kind of be on their own. But don't mind us around them at all. She's being cute. And then we're gonna go check in with the caretakers too, and the interns who are busy working on the rest of Wildcat Pines. As you guys all remembered and helped us do, you guys help us build a new area for 23 bobcats, as well as the lion area, and of course Shalico the lynx, who's going to be coming back to this area too. This is Brianna, one of our beautiful bobcats. She lives with Stelter, and she's just finished eating, is hanging out in her fire hose hammock, grooming herself. A cat will be a cat. So even though we've got 22 bobcats and a lynx, no two are the same. They each have very distinct personalities. We know them as individuals, not as a group of bobcats. They each have their dislikes, likes, what they like from a dietary, what they like to do to play, enrichment, things like that. So hopefully we don't lose cell service as we walk around. I want to get in the sun. I'm a little cold here today. We'll see if we can see Mondovi and Aria, but it looks like this whole group just got fed, and so that means some good nap time up up high after mealtime. And I can see Aria, the Eurasian lynx, up there, but what you can barely see is if you look over her shoulder, oops, if I can get her on film, there's another little ear sticking out. So Mondovi is actually up there laying against her. And remember, when these two guys came, they had imprinted on their owners, but had not wanted to re-imprint on other humans. Mondovi was very aggressive towards people, and Aria was very standoffish. And being able to introduce them to each other, they've really started out as a sister and brother that kind of got on each other's nerves, but now absolutely adore each other and can be fine curled up, playing and everything else. And that really made Aria come out of her shell too, and now Aria loves to come up and say hello. Mondovi still just sees us as a food service, and that's okay. It's all about what he wants, not what we want. But these guys really have done extremely well together. And as you guys know, here at the sanctuary, we try and give them companionship of their own kind. In the wild, they might be solitary, but once they're in captivity, the more stimulation we could give to them, the better. And so this is Ms. Luna. You can see the staff working in the back. Sorry, the bright light. Sometimes it's hard to see the bright light, but Luna's walking down. I don't know if she's going to come towards us or she's going in the tree. And she lives with Serval Sebastian over there, and I think they're pretty much trying to figure out what's going on as the interns and caretaking staff are working on extending habitats to the indoor building. And so Ms. Luna here decided to go through the trees, take her catwalk to the far end, and hang out on her catwalk. I'm going to see if I can get a photo where we're not looking directly into the sun. And I see Copper and Archer are right next door as well. Hi, Sebastian. Hi, Sebastian. So there's Luna, and if you remember Luna has been through several homes. Sadly, she was 4-paw declawed. I know Sebastian's going to come up and hiss at me, the serval. And she had her canine teeth cut off at the gum line. So it looks like I'm losing service. I'm going to try and back up and see if I can get service back. But all of the bobcats are really enjoying, see if I can get back, really love their catwalk systems and their habitats. And we just want to again thank Trees for Tigers for helping to fund all the catwalks. Oh, and somebody just bypassed the catwalk completely, Mr. Archer, and has decided to use his tree. So we try to keep as many trees as well as catwalk systems so that all the bobcats can not only use their caves, their dens, their indoor heated building, but also all the vertical space. And sometimes they improvise and use their own trees. So this is Archer. Archer lives with Bobcat Copper. If you remember, Archer and Copper came to us from 2 different rehabbers. Archer here was from a state in southern U.S. Oh, I hear Chupino behind me. And he had bitten an individual. And after they brought him, they took actually a wild bobcat, tried to make it as a pet, and he bit an individual. And the authorities didn't want to euthanize him, so they brought him to a rehabber who contacted us. And then this is beautiful little Copper. Copper was a bobcat in Iowa who survived a barn fire, but because of all the care he needed and all the hands-on contact he received to get him through his injuries, he could not be released to the wild anymore. And so we were contacted by that rehabber, and we were able to merge these 2 together. They're the best of friends, and Copper's going to use all of his catwalk systems. He's all the way up to the top. I don't even think you can see him. There he goes. Copper's very social. All the first to say hello. Archer's a little more standoffish, but you are just one of the most handsome boys we've ever seen. So even though we're a hands-off facility, we always get the question, how much attention do the cats get? And the cats get so much attention, not only from their caretakers coming around providing enrichment. We have donors sometimes talking. They're moving some of the fence over. We'll go take them. We have donors and volunteers come out and read books aloud to them. They get companionship of each other. We're able to introduce them to each other, which is the best kind of friendship we can. But then there are cats that choose to live alone, that do not want to live with other cats. And then we put them on shared walls so that they can get used to being around a cat and still have their own space. So I'm walking through the woods right now. I'm going to walk up one of the hallways so we can connect with the caretakers and see what they're actually doing. So some of our habitats have shared walls so cats can get used to each other, but some of them have hallways, especially for cats we know that don't want to be along a shared wall. We don't want any fighting or injuries to occur, so we will put a hallway in between. And here's awesome caretaking staff and interns. I'm going to try and get out of the sun so I can see. So, and my zoom lens is on. What's going on here, Elise?
Hi. We are attaching the enclosures to the building so that the cats will be able to go inside and have their heated indoor space.
And I see this is one of the guillotine doors that will be open. I'm standing in what is the hallway system of the Bobcat Trio, which is Autumn, Belvedere, and Francis behind me. Over the weekend we had crew days and they were able to make a huge dent on one of the second to the last bobcat areas. And then we've got one more. This is our number 2 bobcat area on the property. The other one's down in Feline Meadows and has larger outdoor spaces, but not as much vertical space. This is going to be the indoor bedrooms. Right now they're painting grates for the windows. They're going to be putting fire hose hammocks, platforms, everything in here. So even though it looks like a concrete room, remember it's like a den. So instead of being in a den box outside, they actually have a 10 by 10 room inside, which will have a lot of vertical space, a lot of hammocks. They can come in and get out of the cold anytime they want. In the summer, they'll be able to get out of the heat anytime they want. Now, bobcats love our winter months, but as they get older, some of them do choose to stay inside. So you can see we're still very much in a construction site right now. We take every moment there is to build something, and we use it because we always are wanting to better the lives of our residents. So not only are they installing caves like this one, in each habitat we've got the pine trees, and in areas that we wanted more pine trees, we planted some. We've got the skywalks that go in everywhere, the den boxes. So there's a lot going on. So only half of the cats have moved in to this area. But again, we want to thank all of you in Trees for Tigers. So many people donate to the lion that's coming here, but we never want to forget the small cats, and we're so thankful we don't. And we also need to thank our interns and staff, because not only are they doing the caretaking and the enrichment, they do a lot of the construction, because they know the best way for animals to be housed and how to build for containment, and that the animals can enjoy it to the utmost. They know who's shy and needs a bigger entryway to the building, who might need 2 entryways because they don't want to walk near another cat. So the nuances are so important, just because each cat is so important. So I see Copper still up top, hanging out. These catwalks have been just an amazing jungle gym for them, and every time we see the bobcats, they're always up high. Now servals are very different. Servals are cats, so most cats like to be up high, but servals are savanna cats. So you'll oftentimes see Sebastian on the ground when Luna's up on her skywalk. We are in our storage area of the sanctuary behind us. We have a stockpile of always construction, building materials, pools, and things like that, because we always want to be ready for what the next build is. And you can see Archer is up on his platform, but he's using his tree to hide from us. I was gonna see if Chipino's out, but it looks like Chipino's back in his room. So Mr. Sebastian is the one serval here that lives with the bobcats. And remember, Sebastian here is our hissy boy. He has never gotten along with other servals, but when he was on a shared wall with bobcats, he actually adored them. And so the introduction was made to Luna, and they have been really good friends since then. Luna's, I don't know if you can see her, she's walking around her cave before she goes back up top. Now she's walking through her cave. I don't know if you can see, because she's got a lot of platforms down there. The hardest thing is trying to film through these enclosures, because there's so many trees and catwalks that kind of cuts the enclosure in half. But if you can see Luna, and depending upon where my camera is, it's hard to see her because of the pipe. Let's see. There she goes. Going over to say hi to Sebastian.
Oh, here, I found some over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk to the camel.
So somebody's asking, once the bobcats are moved, who moves into their areas? Well, we've got a lot of different plans, and they change depending upon what residents need. Sorry, I'm gonna walk. So one of the large cougar areas was divided into 3 for the bobcats to be temporarily housed. And so we'd like to move that all into one habitat again and give that to the 4 wild as well. But that might not happen till spring. Oops, Luna jumped up on her platforms. And then a few of the bobcats will stay down in feline meadows. Right now Athena is down there in a huge area. She used to live with Buddy and Tractor, who passed away of old age in the last year, so she'll probably stay down there. We haven't decided if Bella will stay down there or come up. Harley, the bobcat's actually going to move to Copper and Archer's old habitat because it's great for her mobility issues. She's very, very old. Somebody's asking how we decide how big enclosures are. Well, a lot of it depends upon space in the cat. We have a huge geriatric population too. And in Wildcat Pines, where we are, we were restricted by space here, unlike feline meadows, because we had to tear down old habitats to rebuild these. And so we didn't have any more land because it was landlocked around a pond, fence, and a building. So we decided to go more vertical. Where in feline meadows, the bobcat enclosure would be 3 times this, but it's an open-topped enclosure, so you need to pick cats that definitely won't climb. Like Autumn's group here are huge climbers. Luna likes to climb a lot, so she needs to be in a roofed top. You can see she's up on her corner here. And you can see just by moving Luna to this habitat, we get to see her a lot more than in the other habitat. They love the catwalks. They feel very confident up there. Now she's coming behind the tree. I'm trying to follow her, but she's moving behind the trees more than I can follow her. So really, our goal is to give the cats as much space as we possibly can. We can never give them what they have in the wild, and that's the sad part about what we do. But what we can do is give them a lot of different things to do and keep them stimulated in a captive environment. And really, funding and our land is dependent upon how much space we can give. Now I can't see because it's backlit, but if you see up on this platform, like, you can see 2 little bodies. The one on the left is Aria, and the one on the right is Mondovi, and they're sleeping cheek to cheek, rear end to rear end. They've really come a long way to make their friendship so special and important, and that's just awesome. And usually they're running up and saying hello, but I caught everybody right after feeding time, so I can't blame them for wanting to take a cat nap. You can see even this weekend, volunteers are making more platforms in different shapes that can go into the skywalks and habitats. And then if you go, you've seen our serval area. Our serval area is much bigger than our bobcat area, but that's partially because they can be in open tops, and they're not climbers, so we can give them more ground space and not as much vertical. Well, we'll sign off real quick with seeing Miss Adorable Brianna again. I don't know where your partner Stelter is, but these guys are absolutely stunning and beautiful. The small guys are just as special as the big guys, and thanks for everyone that's donating. We are really hoping that in the next month we can get all of this done for the bobcats. Your little tush, where are you going? She's talking, so she must be looking for her boy Stelter. So as all of our followers know, we don't like to see animals live life behind fences, but really to us what's important is to give them the best quality of life we can, because people have bred them for life in captivity. And until that day ends, we will be here to support and take care of them and give them as much happiness as they can. As our motto is, they may never know freedom, but with your help, they can know compassion.